Look at the stats. I got 6 rings too. Look at my accolades. I got defensive player, all NBA. So playing the game the right way and winning means something to me, and it meant a lot to me. I don't have the MVPs, but guess what? Somebody that was with me got it.
Oh my God! Drug test him now! I want test! Take him into, get a urine sample, get a blood test, drug test him now. You got to be kidding me. I can't believe what we just heard. I can't believe it. And damn it, Patrick Bet-Davis, I love you. But let me tell you something right now. If you're trying to tell me that Scottie Pippen is justified in calling himself the best, you need to be drug tested too. All of you. All of you. How you the best when you wasn't even the best on your own team? How you the best when you weren't even the number one option? I mean, what? Ooh, it hurts me because I don't want to do this. If you're the best, why were you calling for Jordan? If you're the best, why were you pouting on the bench when Phil Jackson called Tony Kukoc's number instead of yours in a playoff series against the Knicks? If you the best, why was Bill Cartwright in the locker room crying while excoriating you from abandoning your teammates? You led, you also quit. You quit. You had a migraine in 87. You had a migraine in a game 7 against the Pistons. Michael Jordan was left crying on a bus in his daddy's arms talking about when we gonna win. Bill Cartwright, I already told you, was crying. What are you talking about? Oh my Lord. Everybody need to get drug tested. What's even me? Hell, I need to get drug tested. I might start smoking some weed just so I can get. Let me do something. I might start smoking some weed just to get this damn thinking out of my head. This is blasphemy. Better than LeBron. Better than MJ. Come on, man. Come on, man. You know better than that. I'm going to leave this alone for now. I might have to revisit this in a couple of months.
In the highest levels of basketball, balance never truly exists. Every great team has one undeniable leader who sets the tone, carries the weight, and takes responsibility for whatever happens. For the Chicago Bulls of the early 90s, that role was never questioned. Michael Jordan didn't just lead the team. He was the team's engine, with the offense shaped around his presence and the game plan revolving around his decisions. When moments grew tense and the outcome hung in the balance, everyone in the arena knew exactly who would take the last shot, and that certainty came from pure, earned trust. Jordan was the closer, the one who sealed games and broke opponents' hopes. Alongside him, Scottie Pippen played the ultimate complementary role, an elite, all-around star who elevated every part of the floor and gave Chicago a one-two punch no one could match. He guarded every spot on the floor, set the pace, kept the ball moving, and made the triangle offense run smoothly so Jordan could attack when it mattered most. That doesn't minimize Pippen's greatness. If anything, it shows how exceptional he was at mastering his role. But the truth is simple. Being the primary leader and being the elite co-star are two entirely different responsibilities. One shoulders the pressure, the expectations, and the final decision, while the other enhances that force and makes it even stronger. History has always honored legendary co-stars, but it has never mistaken them for the franchise centerpiece. And that's why this comparison hits so hard. Because once you include LeBron James in the discussion, the point becomes impossible to overlook. For over 2 decades, LeBron has stepped into every city, Cleveland, Miami, Los Angeles, as the clear number one option, the heartbeat of the team, the strategist, and the driving force behind 10 finals trips and multiple championships, dominating as a scorer, playmaker, and leader. Even with all those achievements that clearly surpass anything Pippen ever did, many people still won't put LeBron ahead of Jordan. So how does it make sense for Scottie Pippen, as great as he was, to suggest he belongs on Jordan's level when he never carried the weight of leading a team to championships on his own? The history just doesn't back that idea. This hierarchy isn't a minor detail. It shapes how legacies are defined and determines who gets remembered as the driving force and who becomes part of the supporting cast. In the Bulls dynasty, Jordan was the unquestioned leader, while Pippen was the exceptional co-star who made the machine stronger. Changing that reality doesn't just miss the mark, it goes against the essence of competition. That's why so many people reacted when Pippen, a six-time champion, Hall of Famer, and top 75 all-time talent, appeared on Patrick Bet-David's show and started making claims that felt completely disconnected from the truth, starting with his comments about his 6 rings compared to LeBron James. When Pippen was asked whether he'd rank himself above LeBron from a team perspective, he answered, "My team's success is greater than his. I've got 6 rings." But this is exactly where emotion has to move aside, because in any discussion about greatness, opinions fade while facts hold their ground. Styles can differ and eras can spark debate, but achievements speak for themselves. Michael Jordan's resume sets the standard. 6 championships, 6 finals MVPs, 5 regular season MVPs, 10 scoring titles, 9 all-defensive first-team selections, a Defensive Player of the Year award, and a rare 1988 season where he was simultaneously the league's best offensive and defensive force, along with 14 All-Star nods, 3 All-Star MVPs, and Rookie of the Year. That's not just a list of honors, it's a blueprint of dominance across every phase of the sport. Pippen's record, while impressive, tells a different story. 6 titles but no finals MVPs, no regular season MVPs, 3 All-NBA first-team selections, 8 All-Defensive First-Team honors, 7 All-Star appearances, and 1 All-Star MVP, making it clear that his legacy, strong as it is, doesn't match the weight of Jordan's. On paper, Pippen's resume is strong, but the moment it sits next to Jordan's, the separation becomes obvious, because throughout every Bulls title run, Pippen was never recognized as the best player in a finals series or the primary force driving the victory. And this is the detail people love to skip over. Finals MVPs don't hide the truth. Jordan collected 6, Pippen collected none. Every time Chicago raised a championship banner, Jordan stood at the center of the celebration while Pippen played the critical but secondary role. And while LeBron James deserves criticism for certain things, the reality is hard to ignore. He owns 4 championships, has been to 10 finals, and never disappeared in a Game 7 due to a migraine, a moment forever tied to Pippen. Bringing LeBron into the conversation isn't about reopening the MJ debate. It's about highlighting the logic. LeBron holds 4 titles, 4 finals MVPs, 4 regular season MVPs, 19 All-Star selections, and the crown as the NBA's all-time leading scorer. LeBron has always been the unquestioned leader wherever he's played. Yet even with all his accomplishments, many still argue he hasn't surpassed Jordan, so it's worth asking how Pippen, who never carried a championship team as the top option, could ever be placed in that same tier. Jordan's accolades aren't just impressive, they are historic. 10 scoring titles showcasing unmatched offensive dominance, 5 MVPs proving long-term superiority, and 6 finals MVPs demonstrating that he rose to the moment every single time the stakes peaked. Pippen, for all his importance, never led the league in scoring, never won an MVP, and never earned a finals MVP. His contributions were essential but clear: defend the opponent's best player, keep the system steady, and allow Jordan the room to close the show. Awards aren't everything, but they reveal who consistently stood tallest under pressure, and the record makes that unmistakable. Jordan sits alone at the top, Pippen sits below him as a respected legend, and LeBron, greater individually than Pippen, still proves that Jordan operates on a tier no one else has touched. And Pippen didn't stop there. Pippen doubled down on his stance when the GOAT discussion came up, declaring that Magic Johnson, not Jordan or LeBron, deserves the crown, pointing to Magic's leadership and the iconic moment he stepped in as a rookie center when Kareem was out and carried the Lakers to a title. And while Magic's greatness is unquestioned, basketball legacies aren't built on hypotheticals, they are built on defining moments. Games last 48 minutes, but history zeroes in on the seconds when everything tightens, when pressure peaks, when stars either rise or fade. Clutch isn't just about hitting a buzzer beater, it's about being the only option, the player everyone expects to deliver even when the defense knows exactly what's coming. That's the territory Michael Jordan owned. He averaged over 30 points per game across years of facing elite defenses, earned 9 all-defensive first-team honors, and built a career on domination that didn't just overwhelm opponents, it closed the door on them. And that's the real question this entire debate leaves hanging. When everything is on the line, who do you trust to close the game? Why are some people suddenly trying to rewrite and answer history already made obvious? Pippen's value came from defense because offense was never his defining strength. And that's not an insult but a simple fact. He was a phenomenal athlete, 6 feet 9 inches, explosive, able to rise over anyone. Just ask Patrick Ewing. But his jumper was streaky, and his scoring thrived in transition and open space, not in half-court pressure moments where a true number one option has to create something out of nothing. That responsibility belonged to players like LeBron, Kobe, and Michael Jordan, stars whose games revolved around carrying that burden. Even Vince Carter embraced the number one role. Allen Iverson lived in it, so when people try to rewrite history and suggest anything different, you have to pause and wonder what conversation they think we're having, because every time the Bulls needed a bucket, even when the whole arena knew exactly where the ball was going, there was only one name that mattered: Michael Jordan. Think back to 1989 against Cleveland, the Bulls facing elimination with under 3 seconds left. Jordan took the inbound, rose over Craig Ello, and buried the shot that didn't just win a game, it announced the arrival of a new era. Or the 1997 flu game, when he played through exhaustion and dehydration, barely able to stand, yet still put up 38 in a final showdown that would have broken most players. That wasn't just clutch skill, that was clutch will. And then there's Game 6 in 1998, with everything on the line, the defining moment of a dynasty hanging in the balance, another reminder of why Jordan, not anyone else, was the ultimate closer. Jordan's iconic legacy is sealed in moments like the 1998 finals, when he stripped Karl Malone, dribbled up the floor, stopped at the free throw line, and buried a championship-clinching jumper.